You! Hey you! It's time. Today is your day. I know what you're thinking. Nothing is ever gonna work out for me. I'm dumb, fat, and ugly. Well, guess what? All of that is true. You dumb, beautiful. Your heart is fat. And you're such a good person, it's ugly. Hideous even. What I'm trying to say is that no problem is gonna be too big for you to get out of. You're strong. Grrr! You could punch me in the head and it would probably fly all the way to Zimbabwe. You got this. The world is yours. The sun shines for you. Enjoy every second of today and take in every warm breath of air. Sincerely, Ben.
She like, why you sad? That's just depression.
Why do I look so dumb here? Let's have a talk. I know what it's like to be in a point of your life where, like, nothing goes right. Like, literally, happiness seems like a distant thought that, like, once, like, you could have, but, like, you can't have it anymore. It's like Gucci sides. Like, you could have it maybe one day, but you're never gonna have it. You're never gonna have Gucci sides. You might be able to get champion slippers, but, like, you're never gonna get Gucci slides. But as someone who has seen both being Gucci slideless and having Gucci slides, I don't actually have Gucci slides, but metaphor. You were never stuck. You will never be fully stuck in a place that you can't come out of mentally, unless you are in prison. If you kill someone and you are in prison, you're never getting out of there. You're stuck and you're probably gonna die there. But there is almost nothing that you can't get out of. There is almost nothing that can trap you from living your life, from experiencing happiness again. You might feel like you're at the lowest point in your life and that, like, the hatch has closed, there's no getting out now, bang, 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 you can't get out. But that's not true. You will always be able to get out. Get this tomato out of here. Get him out of here. I was at a point in my life when I was 15 where I literally just did not want to be on this planet. But now I'm here and I'm so happy to be alive, and it's kind of wild. When I was 15, I potentially had to move cross cities and, like, leave all my friends behind, leave my school behind, like, start a brand new life in this different city. And in the span of a month, like, my dog died. Literally the worst period. And I thought it was just gonna end there. But then, like, a month later, and I was still, like, just as sad. And 2 months later, 3 months later, a whole year, I literally was not happy. Happiness couldn't, like, go to my head. Like, it wasn't a possible thought. It's almost like I was sleeping. Like, I was asleep and, like, there was no, like, I had lived my life, and then I went to bed and I wasn't gonna wake up, and I was just, like, kind of, like, in this nightmare kind of, like, dream sleep. There would never be any days where it was like, ugh, I'm sad, but it was just kind of like an looming cloud of, like, darkness that, like, filled every single room. Sometimes you, like, gotta take a step back and think, like, there's, like, two things that can make you sad. There's the things that, like, happen to you. Say your chinchilla gets run over by a semi-truck. And there's the things that, like, are in your control. So obviously, your chinchilla, he gets out of his cage, gets run over by a semi-truck, not your fault. But say you lose one of your friends because of something you did, or something like that. Something that really weighs on you, makes you feel not good. Because here's really how it be. The things that happen to you, they all eventually usually clear up. There's nothing can really happen to you that'll be lasting forever and ever and ever. It all passes. The stuff that's in your control, though, is the kind of stuff that you can perpetuate. Say you had a best friend that was, like, in your life that you blocked, reported, kicked out of your life. You're like, see ya, sister, so long, amigo. You might even be like, I hate this person, I want them gone, I never want to hear about them again. that is what gets perpetuated. You can so easily perpetuate a bad grudge or something towards someone, and that is the kind of sadness and pain that you carry with you every single day. Like I said, the things that happen to you, those always pass. They always will pass. Sometimes you need to push yourself to make it happen a little bit quicker, but things like that will always pass. When I almost had to move and like my whole life got thrown up in the air and all these things were happening, eventually it all settles. You can pick up all of the things that got mixed up, put them back together. And sometimes it takes a while to do that. Sometimes it can be a 3-year process. It can take a long time, but it doesn't mean you have to be unhappy for 3 years or however long it takes to get the things that happen to you together and making sense. One of the greatest things you can do for yourself is become content with knowing that you're working to become a better person. It doesn't mean you have to be like on your like that. If you know that you're working to become a better person each day and working to get your stuff in order every single day, that's a victory. You can be happy and you can live your life happy. And then when you do finally get your stuff together, you don't have to start from square one. You don't have to start from square one. You've already been living for the past 3 years or however long your journey has been to get to where you want to be. You should never live a year of your life where it feels like a chore, where it feels like you're just working towards something. You have to be able to live in the time that you have. You can't let any of it go to waste. That is like, it's one of the most heartbreaking things I see with people is they will treat so much of the best years of their life like it's a chore, like they just need to get this stuff out of the way. And then finally one day down the road, they'll have a career and they'll have wealth and be able to finally live a happy life. But you don't see that. You see so many people who went through 12 years of regular school, then like 8 years of post-secondary, and then they're like $400,000 in debt. And then eventually they do get wealth, but they just spend it on like a sports car. They've really never mastered happiness and like how to obtain it. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to school. I'm not saying any of that. This is just back to my point. You should never live a year where it's just a chore to be alive, where you're just working, grinding towards something else. You should always be able to be on that grind, but at the same time, enjoying where you're at now. Unless you're in prison. If you're in prison, it's like over for you. Until you get out. I mean like life sentence. If you like didn't pay your taxes, like who cares? Like everyone has a goal, a place in life that they want to get to. But there's no point in spending half your life working to get to that point if you can't enjoy the journey. And I know that sounds super corny and super cheesy, like the queso that they forgot to put in my Crunchwrap Supreme, but it's so true. There's no point in wasting half your life, some of your best years. Where's the guacamole? It's not here. Only to finally have your wealth accumulated and not be happy. It's pointless. So you're probably like, oh, you make it sound so simple. Well, I work a job, I go to school every single day, and I'm still in debt, and I'm gonna be like this for the next 12 years. How am I supposed to enjoy that? If you're like me, and you live in North America, or like a developed country, take a step back and realize how much we have. I have lights. I have a phone that I'm recording this on. I'm holding a Crunchwrap. I have a water bottle of drinkable water. This ceiling over my head isn't gonna collapse. No one's gonna bust into my room and kill me. A lot of those things, a lot of people in the world don't have. This is me personally, but I feel like it can help even at least one of you guys. And if it does, that makes me super happy. So I'll walk outside my house onto the sidewalk and I'll pretend like I have absolutely nothing. I'll leave my phone in my house. I'll put my key on the doorstep and I'll walk in to my home and see all the different things that I have. And I realize how blessed I am. And it puts things into perspective how lucky some of us are. And this isn't saying that pain isn't relative. There's no point comparing other people's pain, but just realizing how much you have and how much opportunity you have where you're at is a super important value to have. My Crunchwrap is really cold. I really hope this made sense. That's all I have to say. Let's talk in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to every single comment, so let's chat. Get in this hoe. Get in the comment section. With that being said, I love you all so much. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at BenOfTheWeek, Twitter at BenOfTheWeek, and Snapchat is Ben_what. I love y'all. Take care. Ben of the Week is chill.